Unitarian Universalism is a mouthful. I remember when I first became a Unitarian Universalist wanting to truncate it, like, can't you say something shorter than that? That's just so awkward. But it is the result of a merger between two separate faiths, and I think that's really cool. So I do always try to either say UU or Unitarian Universalist. Very few people that you meet out there in the world have any idea what we believe. Maybe that's because this faith means different things to each of us. Maybe it's because it's a relatively new faith. Maybe it's because it's a faith that is changing so much in even the 20 years in which I have been a Unitarian Universalist. We don't have a creed or a membership test in the form of a doctrine which all must believe. There is no, you believe this, or you are wrong, or you aren't one of us, you aren't welcome, or even going to hell. If you don't believe what we believe, you are going to hell. And yet, here we all are, even on this cold day with the weird assignment of being asked to wear pajamas, pulled together by a deep force this Sunday and every Sunday. We come, we spend time together, and we leave having experienced something together that fed us and gives our lives direction and hope. How would you explain Unitarian Universalism to someone who doesn't know anything about the faith? From those of us who have been around for a pretty long time to those of us who are new, how do you explain this faith to others? Imagine yourself as an adult at a neighborhood dinner. Imagine yourself as a kid pressed hard by a classmate to define and maybe even defend your religion. How do you explain who we are and what we, or at least you, believe Unitarian Universalism is? Some religious people call a brief explanation of what the religion is all about the good news. Oh, the good news of my faith is this. What is the good news? That's not usually the way that we talk about it, but we could. We could share the good news of our faith. For sure, it is not, oh, you can believe anything. Unless, like my friend's 10-year-old daughter, you want to say, in Unitarian Universalism, you can believe what you want as long as it meets all 7 principles. And she says, that's the hard part. She then lists the principles, much in the way that Jan will do for us later and with us later in the service. She'll be doing it in a song. And our core belief isn't that long list of UUs don't. I don't know if you've heard that, but there are people, maybe mostly detractors, who say, it's the not religion. Oh, you do not believe in God, or you do not believe in Jesus, or you do not believe in the Bible, or some such. Some of us may believe in those things and some of us don't. Some of us honor those things ourselves or honor that our friends and co-faith leaders believe in those things. But either way, at the heart of our faith, there are positive statements about what we believe. Let's start the story of our faith when somebody asks us about it where we want to. Let's not be defensive. I'm going to give you this challenge and a piece of paper in a few minutes. We're going to go on a bit of a journey first, let you write your own brief elevator speech and share it with us down the road. Let's talk about what statement or belief unites us. lest you wonder too long what pajamas and cocoa and popcorn and elevator speeches have in common. They may never have been preached together as a group before, but let us join our 2 adult volunteers on a recent River Road youth sleepover as a teen approaches them with some deep questions.
Oh my gosh.
Another night of this.
I don't know how Beth can play Cards Against Humanity for so long. I am exhausted.
Hey guys, I'm kind of done with all the chaos and craziness with the youth group. Can I sit here where it's quiet?
Yeah, we're kind of done with it too.
Some of my friends at school have been asking me about Unitarian Universalism, and I find it kind of hard to explain. But in my youth group, we've been talking about elevator speeches, and I thought I'd share mine to get your advice. So mine is, I've been a UU since I was 2, and when people ask me what Unitarian Universalism is, I find it hard to explain quickly. I usually start talking about freedom of religion, and if the person still doesn't understand, I pull out my phone and read the front page of our website, which is very helpful. But when people ask me to go into detail, the first thing that I say is that it's a religion where you can make your own choices, which is one of the best parts of Unitarian Universalism, in my opinion. And that's my speech, but I'm not sure about parts of it. Do you guys have one?
I do. I happen to have mine right here. I always felt challenged by the rigid requirements of my Lutheran church upbringing. When I was told that there was only one right way to worship God, that just didn't work for me. Or I was pretty sure it didn't work for the billions of non-Christians in the world. I think that spiritual beliefs and practices are like many aspects of humanity. They evolve and change for each individual's needs over a lifetime. Finding River Road and becoming a Unitarian Universalist in 2009 has given me both the freedom to explore what it is I believe, and it's also given me the structure of a place with purpose. Our River Road vision of fellowship, spirit, and service. My husband and I have made wonderful friends here and found great satisfaction in volunteering our services. Our spirits are nourished by the social justice work, which was already so vital and has become more so in the last year. And also by the messages of hope and beauty that we regularly hear from our ministers.
That's great. What I usually say is that the principles of Unitarian Universalism provide me a basket or a vessel in which to hold my religious beliefs. UUism doesn't tell me what to believe, but it provides me the boundaries within which those beliefs should fit. There are powerful and valuable teachings that originated from many prophets and wise people, which we can choose to uphold and embrace. This includes the teachings of Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, Moses, and belief systems such as humanism, paganism, and other earth-centered religions. It's up to each of us to engage in a search for those beliefs which speak to us. While we have freedom to choose our beliefs, there are also guiding principles we should follow in how we act and interact with others. This would include using the one person, one vote democratic process as the best way to make collective decisions, that we should always seek justice and equity in the world, and that we live in an interconnected world in which our actions impact the environment and nature. Probably, above all else, we adhere to the belief that each and every person has his own or her own inherent worth and dignity, which we must respect.
But everyone says you can believe whatever you want. Is that true?
Not exactly. Our principles give us boundaries to the religious beliefs we hold, and we think there are some beliefs that don't fit within that basket. We can't accept that some people are chosen and some others are not, or that people who are unlike ourselves are unworthy of our respect, trust, and acceptance. So my religious vessel holds my faith, and the beliefs that you practice fit in the basket of your own, and they may differ from mine, but as long as they're in line with these UU principles, we can each honor and uphold them as being consistent with Unitarian Universalism.
It's so interesting that we all have different speeches, but I think there's some things that are alike about them, don't you?
Yeah, I noticed that we all agree that people can choose what they want to believe about God and other spiritual things, and that UUs are guided on what they can believe, but they're not restricted. And you may not believe the same things as some people, but we still have to respect them and their choices.
That's absolutely right, and I think if you say that to your friends at school, you'll be expressing what we're all about.